Welcome back into Talking Pittsburgh. Joined today from Hy-Vee. It's one of our two awesome dietitians. Amy is back, and we are talking Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Amy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Happy Thanksgiving to you. It's a great time of year.
It is a great time of year. This kind of like starts the downfall for me of really eating bad food and or lots of portions of food, which also doesn't necessarily go together. But today we're here to kind of debunk some of those things and make sure that you enjoy Thanksgiving. So I tasked you with three things. Tell me that I can enjoy my Thanksgiving dinner. Tell me how I can bring a new dish to really spice things up this year that's healthy. And then tell me a way I can deal with all those leftovers, which are common things that are dealt with. But each and every year, there's so many fun ideas out there of bringing all these things together. So we'll start with the first one, Amy. And it's talking a little bit about how to enjoy the holidays, and when I assume dietitians aren't always the favorite person to talk to during some of these great eating events, if you will, but you're here to say it's okay.
Yes, I know. Sometimes I picture people like actually running away from us this time of year, but no, don't. We're friendly. We enjoy the holidays too. I think what you said too is so important, is that it really is important to enjoy the day. And yes, people are dealing with, maybe different conditions or specific dietary restrictions that we have to follow, but we can definitely find ways to fit all of those great things in. And I think really the goal for most people is that we want to enjoy the day, but we don't want to get to the point where you're really uncomfortable or, you've stuffed yourself so full that now you just don't feel well. And so it's kind of finding that balance of enjoying the things I love, but not overdoing it to the point where I don't feel well.
So we've got some tips here on that. This first one's kind of interesting because I've totally skipped breakfast every single Thanksgiving. So I'm on the opposite end of this, but you say start with a breakfast.
Yes. And I think it's very common for a lot of people to have that. Okay, I'm not going to eat all day long. So then when it comes time for the big meal, I'm ready to go. It's actually kind of counterintuitive because you kind of set yourself up to kind of just be so hungry that now you'll just eat whatever's in front of you and you don't really enjoy it. So if you have some, if you eat throughout the day, it's going to give you're kind of coming into that big meal a little bit better prepared, if you will. So, and it doesn't have to be a huge breakfast. Something light is fine. Just balance some protein and carbohydrates. So maybe, some eggs and a piece of fruit, or, some Greek yogurt or something like that, just something small. So again, you're not coming into that meal feeling like you're like starving hungry. It's just not a good way to approach it.
Yeah, I think my dad's secret to that was just slowly just taking those pieces and enjoying a little bit of everything all day so he could keep it pretty even keel. Another one, too, is build some activity into the day. And why not? I mean, it is a day off. You could have some fun, but you're like earning some, extra calories in there.
Yeah. And again, it's just kind of, helping you stay active, helping you kind of process all that food, not just sitting all day. So, and again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but this again, too, can be kind of something you plan as a family. I know a lot of families like to go do, if there's a turkey trot in your city, or even just going for a walk and maybe going for a couple walks throughout the day just to get some fresh air. It doesn't have to be anything super intense, but just kind of getting that activity throughout the day will help as well.
Yeah, and I say you want to earn. You're trying to burn calories. You can earn some more. Take in some extra. No, you can balance that out for sure. And we do have a turkey trot here in Fitchburg, so you can definitely go in and do that. All right, final one here. Picking out of a great list here, and one that we all can take a page out of this book here is go easy on the alcohol, because alcohol does a few things to you that probably aren't so good on this day.
Yeah, and I think that's a good one to remember. So alcohol, a couple of things, one is it kind of reduces those inhibitions, and so we tend to eat more. when we've had a lot to drink, especially if you start drinking on an empty stomach, right? You get tipsy pretty fast and then you start reaching for that food to counterbalance it. So again, it all comes down to balancing for enjoyment. So if you are having alcohol, maybe throw in a glass of water in between drinks so that you're staying hydrated, because then again, the next day you'll feel better if you've stayed hydrated throughout the day as well.
Yeah. So, these were easy tip. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
already in. It sounds like I can have some fun, still eat some good portions. And yeah, we've got it going there. So switching gears here, let's talk about some recipes. So challenge number 2 for you was find me a fun recipe that I could take that is a little bit on the healthier side. But really just finding that new and fun idea. And you've got a couple of here. And I was telling you before we started that our families really got into the Brussels sprouts. So I'm
Mhm.
glad you're bringing this new apple Brussels sprout stuffing here. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yes. So I know, and this is a recipe that I haven't tried yet, but it's on my list. But stuffing or dressing is one of those really traditional Thanksgiving recipes. So there's a recipe on HyVee.com that's going to incorporate Brussels sprouts and apples. So it's kind of keeping those same traditional flavors, but then just adding a couple of different ingredients in. So, if you're looking for something different to try, maybe you want to put a little spin on a traditional favorite that you enjoy every year. I think this one is a great way to do it. And again, you're getting a little bit extra nutrition from sneaking in those extra fruits and vegetables in.
Yeah, and then you've got one here with cranberries, and we were both saying that, well, and definitely in the Crosby household, that the old can of cranberries just right on the plate there,
Yep.
and it's can shaped. There's better ways to enjoy some cranberries, and you've tried this salad. Tell us about this cranberry citrus salad with
Yes.
some cranberries and walnuts. It's a little bit of everything.
It is. It really is. And it is. It's a very different, especially if you're used to going with maybe just a canned cranberry. I thought, let's take a different spin on this. It's you're going to get the same flavors from the cranberry, but it's a salad. So it's a nice thing you can make ahead of time and have plated. So everyone has one on their plate. It's going to incorporate some citrus, which is great. Some candied walnuts. So you get some crunch and a little bit of sweet to balance out the tart of the cranberry. And I have made this several times. It's very good. And again, it's just going to give you that basic same profile flavor as, a lot of cranberry sauces do incorporate that citrus, but it's going to do it in a little bit different way. So definitely something to try if you're looking for a new recipe.
Well, it looks pretty colorful too. Like you're bringing
Mhm.
it just kind of brings that whole Thanksgiving spirit together, and it just looks pretty powerful there. All right, jumping over to the leftovers. The leftovers. I mean, there's so many fun takes on it. It's all almost become, in my opinion, it's become kind of another extra day to have some fun with this stuff. And this is this recipe here that we're going to talk about first is something I've never seen done before, and it's called a spicy turkey and vegetable pasta bake. This looks just yummy.
Yes, and this is one of the recipes that's going to be featured in the November Seasons magazine. So if you don't already get it mailed to your house, you can just pick up a free copy next time you're in the store. And they do have a whole spread on using leftovers. So this pasta bake, same thing. This is something I had never really seen before either. So it's just taking those Thanksgiving leftovers and really repurposing them into something a little bit different. So yeah, sometimes it gets a little boring of just reheating everything and just having the same meal again.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's hard because you're like, well, I got turkey, so I could make a pot pie, or there's lots of unique things. So finding a new one. The other one that I'm kind of curious about is the quesadilla. Quesadilla, I call it quesadilla, but either way, it's this is again another fun take on what looks like a very. I would actually serve this as the meal, but tell us about this one.
Yeah. So with the quesadilla, again, just taking that leftover turkey, repurposing it into the quesadilla. And if you do have cranberry sauce too, you can use that kind of as a salsa substitute, as opposed to kind of a traditional quesadilla. So again, something I don't think we normally think of when we're looking for ideas to reuse those leftovers.
And from a safety standpoint, what as far as leftovers go and being left out, this is a curveball for you. But how long should we do kind of get talking and food's all of a sudden left out, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if that's good. We'll throw it in the fridge and microwave it tomorrow. But do keep some safety, food safety in mind as well. Correct?
Yes, yes. And ideally, you would want to have things packed up and refrigerated as quickly as possible after you're eating them. Definitely within an hour or two, I would try to get everything packed up and put away so that, like you said, so that it's safe. And then when you do go to reheat things, making sure you're reheating them to the correct temperature so that, again, they're going to be safe to consume. So
yeah, I think you
that
don't want to
not leave it sit out all day long.
Yeah, that would be bad. And then you're going to have a unfortunate day after Thanksgiving episode that you're never going to want to take part in. All right, Amy, these are all great stuff. If people want to connect with any of the dietitians around or just find some great information or learn more about these recipes, where can they find those?
Yes, best place to go is our website. If you go to HyVee.com/health, that's where you'll get to the dietitian page, so you can get in touch with any of us. And then if you're specifically looking for recipes, you can go to Hy-Vee.com. There's a recipe section, or just grab a Seasons magazine, especially this month. Lots and lots of great ideas to try.
All right, final question for you. If you're going to make the ultimate dish, Amy, what is it going to be? What is the Amy dish of Thanksgiving?
Of Thanksgiving? You know what? My signature, what I usually bring is a pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie.
All out with my my garnish, my pie crust garnish is something that I'm particularly proud of. So yes, that's my specialty.
There you go. Well, now you've heard it here. Pumpkin pie. That sounds really good. Yeah, I'm gonna need that recipe. Anyway, we'll talk about that off air. Now, Amy, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll check back in with you next month with more holidays.
Right? Yes, yes. We're just getting started with the holidays.
All right. I said check out the website at Hy-Vee and pick up that Seasons magazine if you want to get some fun recipes here as we go in the holiday season.